It's the Vulkan indicator, everybody, named after the Roman god of fire, Vulcan. That's where we get terms like vulcanized rubber or volcano. It's all from this guy. So you know, if it's named after him, this indicator, it's going to be hot. Welcome, traders, to a new installment of the Indicator Profile series. It's the Vulkan indicator, spelled with a K, so not quite named after the god of fire. Would have been cool, though. Now, this one is also pretty interesting. We've had a string of interesting indicators. Some perform better than others. Let's see how this one does. Now, if you're new, some of this is going to make sense, some of this may not. That's okay. Go to nononsenseforex.com, read that first page, watch that first video, and you will be well on your way. But for the rest of us, let's go ahead and get into the specs. The year was 2016, well within the 1996 and on threshold we like to see here. This is going to be, I guess it's a chart overlay indicator, the best way I can describe it. But it's going to be one of those indicators with arrows, and just arrows. Now, I don't think we have done one of these yet on the Indicator Profile series, so it'll be nice to do and show you and give some of my opinions on it. Now, as an exit indicator, indicators with arrows always look like great exit indicators. I think this one is actually okay, and this is just in my overall experience. Your experiences may absolutely differ, so you should be testing all of these as exit indicators, but for what it's worth, I would say this is about average. So, let us go and take a look at it. It is pretty darn easy. When you see arrow go up, that's a long. When you see arrow go down, that is a short. Could not be easier. It's almost too easy. And let me explain what I mean. Not that it's a bad indicator or anything like that. It's just, I don't know how long you guys have been doing this, but I've been doing this a long time, and there was a period of time where you saw everybody trying to sell paid indicators, and this was always the best way to do it because a lot of people who buy paid indicators are very inexperienced, and it's just something with our little baby minds that is just instilled in us to where we see something so simple like arrow go up, arrow go down. That is what we want. We don't want the hassle of trying to read an indicator, even though reading indicators are very simple. We would rather have this. So for all of you out there who code indicators and would like to sell them one day, consider going this way. I saw so many of these darn things that sold so well because of this arrow formation. I can't explain it. But just remember, to all you out there who might be purchasing paid indicators, remember what I said a long time ago. The only difference between a free indicator and a paid indicator is the guy who created the paid indicator decided to charge for it. That's literally the only difference most of the time. Now, I don't want to ruin anybody's hustle out there, but if you are going to create paid indicators, again, split test something like this versus something like a zero cross, I think this one's going to win out. So maybe go that route. Now, don't be scammy with it, but consider going this route because it sells. Now, is this indicator any good? Let's answer that question. We'll get into the testing. Remember, with the testing, you have to test these yourself. Don't put too much credence over the results you see on this video. This is just a guideline. How it performs in your system is all that really matters. Also know that down below in the description, you're going to get a link to my automation blog that shows you the video on how to test these yourself, which you need to know. And you will need to watch that video to know how to do it. Also, the link to the Stonehill Forex blog for this video with all the tweak settings that we don't show you and all the inner workings of how this indicator operates and the settings you need to know to tweak this indicator to your standards. And of course, a place to go download this yourself. And I probably should add this point in there now because it's been a few weeks, but Dan has also created a second email address if you want to submit ideas for indicators to be profiled on this show. That is where you go do it. You're going to find that in the description as well. So, without further ado, let's see how this thing did on the euro dollar. Pretty darn good. A very good win-loss ratio with very steady ROI. And by steady, I mean actually really good. I shouldn't say steady. This is a great place to start. If you can do 2 or 3 points higher than the overall return to the S&P, for example, I mean, as a starting point, that's really nice. And we've seen, it's more difficult to achieve on the euro dollar than it is a lot of these other pairs that we profile. So let's see how it did on some of those. Gold. Very solid results too. Now the win-loss ratio and the amount of trades is going to differ quite a bit from the 1 year to the 4 hour. Just keep note of that, but the ROI is still very strong. Moving on to the S&P. Staying strong with very good win-loss ratios and a healthy amount of trades. Really good place to start for indices traders, possibly, depending on how it works in your system. And then we saved the best for last. Get ready for this. Bitcoin. Hello. Beautiful. I mean, even with only 12 trades in the year, and this number is probably going to go down as you add other indicators to it. Great win-loss ratio and an ROI that is off the charts. And remember, in the year 2022, which is what most of this testing covers, we have seen big runs and we have also seen very stagnant markets. It's not like before where every trending indicator should test better on Bitcoin because it just ran a lot more. We saw something that mimics regular markets more so in 2022 than we ever have before with Bitcoin. Now, again, you might not think that win-loss ratio is all that impressive considering the lower amount of trades, but the ROI at the end of the day is what goes into your bank account. So keep that in mind too. So it looks like Vulkan so far is one of our top performers so far on this indicator profile series. Awfully good. Happy to share it with you. We're going to share a lot more. You should subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like button. I mean, we are bringing everything to you. We have a trading psychology podcast on Monday, indicator profile videos every Wednesday, blog every Thursday. It's been on Friday. I'm going to move it back to Thursday again. And an investment podcast every Saturday. It is your one-stop shop for finance, investing, psychology, all of it. Get on board and go get it.